Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Flo and I'm here to share with you my nail tips. So I'll say a bit about me before I get into it. So I've been a nail tech for, like, officially I would say I started in last November 2019, and I had started doing nails on myself a few months before that. So I would say like May, June, I think I started. So I was doing it for myself, and then I decided that I wanted to take it seriously and do it for other people. And I got into it mostly because I love art, but I don't have the patience to draw anymore. And I felt like this is something that I wanted to try, and because I was doing it for myself, I wanted to try all the different designs. I just really love the creative side to it, because you know, I'm so over doing those boring plain nails. And the reason why I'm here today is to share some tips with you guys about how to become a nail tech, my journey through it. I feel like my advice will be very beneficial just because I'm still in the journey. Like, I feel like I'm still at the beginning of my journey. I still have so much to learn, and I just want to share that with you guys, because a lot of videos on here of other YouTubers that are sharing their nail advice and tips and whatnot, they are, first of all, have probably been doing it for years, so they forget about a lot of the things that you struggle with when you're a new nail tech, and they forget about, you know, what it was like coming out of this whole virus situation. Is going to be hard, and I think I'll be here to give you my advice as well, so I'm excited to do that. Also, a lot of the information isn't just in like one video, one channel. I've had to like search so hard and so long just to find out some of the stuff that I'm going to say to you guys, the advice I'm going to give to you guys, that is very like important. So I'm going to do a series of videos talking about how to become a nail tech, how to become a nail tech for cheap, because becoming a nail tech is actually expensive. The stuff is actually expensive, so doing it for cheap, doing it in the UK. A lot of the YouTubers are from America, so they're giving their advice, they're giving links to products that you can't really get in the UK, or you know, so I'm going to provide those links for you guys, show you what I get, what I've got, what I've experienced. I'm going to talk about courses, how to actually become a qualified nail tech, and which courses I think are good, and which courses I think are worth it, and which are not worth it. So hopefully this will be very helpful to those who want to start out, and I hope no one is discouraged by what's going on right now. So this is my first video, so please, disclaimer, no one come for me. So in this video I'm going to talk about building a low-cost acrylic kit and ways to save money. So I'm going to cover like the list of products you need to become a nail tech, that you need to have when you're first starting out. Obviously you can build as you go along, but if you specifically want to do coloured powders and focus mostly on that and a bit of shellac, then this kit will help you. So first I'm going to talk about the acrylic powders and recommend some brands that I have tried, and especially cheap brands for building this cheap acrylic kit. So a lot of people on here on YouTube have reviewed Mia Secrets, and although that is an American brand, you can actually get it here in the UK, but you have to order it on eBay or Amazon, but Amazon's very expensive, and they don't sell the powders actually. It's mostly like the I think they sell the Monomer and the dehydrator or the prep, but you can get the powders on eBay. However, they are coming from America, so bear in mind that there is going to be a shipping time, you're gonna wait for shipping basically. However, it's not that long. It's not like you're ordering from AliExpress. I think the longest I probably waited is like a week, maybe 2 weeks max, but literally it hasn't ever taken that long for a powder. Like, I think I've got clear and white from there. So when I first started, I was just like, okay, I want to become a nail tech, but I don't want to spend so much money on, because a lot of brands are very expensive, like Young Nails expensive, Nail Nails I think are expensive. Glitter Bells are actually okay, like in terms of their pricing, but Mia Secrets is one of the cheapest out there. Yeah, the Mia Secrets powder, I got this from eBay. As I said, it didn't take that long to get here. So this is 240 grams. This cost me about, well, yeah, I think I paid £24.98. So I paid £24.98. So when you compare this to like other brands from the UK that you could get like within like literally 2 days, so for example, Glitter Bells, you're paying £34 plus delivery for 150 grams for a clear powder from Glitter Bells. So you can see the difference in price there. So there's also a brand called Glitterama, I think that's how you say it. They also sell on eBay, but they do have a website where their prices are okay. They have 200 grams for about £35, and that's not including shipping either. So as you can see, this is still cheaper because that £24.98 is including shipping. So although it takes a bit longer, I think when you're building your kit, it's worth it. Now, this one I personally haven't used, don't have. I think I will try it out very, very soon because I literally just discovered it. But Hollywood Nail Supply, it's a nail supply store in Peckham in London, and they also have an online store, so you can order from them, and you can order for them during this time. You can follow them on Instagram. They update everything on Instagram, so they'll tell you when they're not shipping, if they stop shipping, and if they stop like doing processing online orders, so they'll tell you that. But yeah, check them out because a lot of the stuff that I'm going to recommend on this list is from them. So yeah, Hollywood Nail Supply. So apparently for £30 you can get 660 grams of clear acrylic powder. The same thing, apparently, clear acrylic powder you can get for £30, 660 grams. That's more than double of this. So that sounds great to me. I'm going to try it out. And when it comes to clear, it literally does not matter. To me, it doesn't matter. Like, clear is clear. However, some people have compared others and they think like, oh, one's more clear than the other, especially like when you're doing like clear nails, the glass look, whatever. People have compared, but I haven't had a problem with any of the clears I've used. I probably used, I want to say like, okay, not that many brands. I probably used like 3 or 4 brands, but obviously once I found Mia Secrets, I stuck to it because this was the cheapest I knew about. But there might be cheaper out there, but these are the ones that I found. And I feel like when you do your research, when you type into Google clear acrylic powder, obviously the more popular expensive brands like Young Nails, Nail Nails, what's that other one, all I can't remember, but all those brands come up and they're expensive just for such a small amount of grams of powder. So Mia Secret or Hollywood Nail Supply. Now, all the brands that I am talking about are quality products, because I feel like a lot of people, when they want to get into nails and want to become a nail tech, or yeah, want to do it for themselves, they go on to Amazon or eBay or AliExpress and type in acrylic nail kit or nail kit, or you know, something like that, or even Wish. Do not buy those kits. Well, actually you can buy those kits. A lot of the stuff in there, like the tools, are useful. There's nothing wrong with the tools. Those acrylic powders and the little monomer thing that they give you, that grey tub thing that I've seen everyone use. They're nonsense, in my opinion. Wasting your time, wasting your money. I bet you that monomer contains MMA. If you don't know about MMA, learn about it, Google it. Long story short, MMA is a chemical that you can find sometimes in the acrylic liquid that isn't really good or healthy to use. It's banned in a lot of states in America. However, I don't think it's banned here. I have heard that some councils might not want certain people to use it. So if you work in a salon, they might check if you use it. But some people that run salons use it, and they full well know that it contains MMA and that MMA is not that great and you shouldn't be using it on your clients, but they use it anyways because it's cheaper. Yeah, the acrylic liquids that contain MMA are cheap compared to liquids that don't use it. When it comes to the actual products that you be putting on people's nails and like the stuff, like, you know, your top coats, your blah 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 blah, buy quality products, because you're going to end up realizing as you go on that you're going to need these quality products. It's better for your clients because you know what's actually in it. I don't trust, if I got a powder from AliExpress and stuff like that, I wouldn't necessarily trust it. But not saying that they put bad stuff in it, but I just wouldn't trust it because it's not made by a quality company. They're just making it in a factory, and I don't know, all of the I don't know, but it's up to you. But yeah, I would personally definitely say that this is a good company, even though they're cheap. A lot of nail techs, a lot of people on YouTube use this brand, so I can say it's a good brand. Glitter Bells, obviously a good brand. Hollywood Nail Supply, even though they are cheap, you know, they've been selling nail products for years, and I don't think that there's anything wrong with especially when it comes to like the clear powders. If the clear powder works, the clear powder works. Clear and white. So when I mention clear, I mean white too. The only thing I would say about Mia Secrets white powder, I find this chalky. So when I say chalky, like, I feel like so for example, when you do ombre, this would be a hard one to blend, like to make it look seamless. It's definitely hard to blend, but that is fine because you can still buy it if you want to and mix it with a bit of clear. So yeah, just mix it with a bit of clear. Obviously I think more white than clear. Play around with it, make sure it's still white. You don't want it to be too milky because obviously that's how you make milky colored powder. But yeah, it blends so much better. So yeah, that fixes that problem. So I have no problem with using this as long as it's mixed with clear to make it a bit less chalky. But maybe that's why they call it French 3D white, because it's proper white, chalky, thick. It's white. So colored powders, there's various ways to build a collection for cheap. So not just colored powders, even core powders. So from core powders to colored powders, because when I say core, I mean like the nudes, the basically the ones that you don't have to encapsulate in clear. Clear is obviously the cheapest acrylic powder you can buy. Like you buy big bulk of clear for cheaper than you would than a colored powder or core powder. Usually you get a smaller quantity and you pay more money for the colored powders. So there is a few options of how to build up your colored powder or core powder collection. One of the ones that I'm going to do a video on later on is creating your own. So there are videos of this about this on YouTube. However, majority of them, they're using crayons, and it's just not it. you might encounter problems with when you use chalk, because it might turn out chalky, you might get bits. It's definitely better to use powder. Now, however, there are methods on YouTube about how to use powders and blah blah blah, but there was literally only one person who I saw using the correct type of powder. You can use, I think it's mica powder, the powder that they use to make, like, that they use to make soaps, like DIY stuff, and like makeup and like eyeshadows. Those powders, because they are non-toxic and finely milled, they're really great. However, when I was searching for them, a lot of them were like shimmery, and not every colored powder that I want to make I want to be shimmery. So anyways, I'll get into that in one of my next videos. So I'm literally going to do a video about the type of powder I use. So basically, just make sure that if you do this method, use the right type of powders, and I will be doing a video covering this. So you can literally mix the right type of powder, like colored powder, as in like a pigment powder, with some clear acrylic, or clear and white, depending on how opaque you want it. So yeah, you can, because obviously, as I said, clear and white are probably the cheapest colored acrylic powders. So you're saving money because you're only buying these and really cheap pigment powders to mix together. So I would recommend this for when, like, say if you want to make you can do this with gauze, you can do this with literally every color, and even obviously glitter colored acrylics. So in terms of actual brands, Glitterama, as I said, they sell on eBay. So on eBay, they do, like, I think from 5 grams to like 10 grams, I think maybe even 25 grams, but whatever amount you pick, or you can pick a variety of grams, whatever you pick. They do buy 4 get 1 free. So you can buy 4 pots and you get 1 free on eBay. I don't know if this works on their website, but I know for sure that it works on eBay because I've done it, and it literally tells you at the bottom, add 1 more to your basket to get 1 for free. So when you're building your kit, that can be really great. And because you can buy really small quantities and you're not really paying a delivery fee, it's great, because whereas you can get small quantities from other companies, every time you want a new powder or a new color, you're gonna have to pay the delivery fee. And I don't know about you, but that delivery fee really hurts me every single time. So yeah, Glitterama on eBay. This is the Glitterama. This is 10 grams. I think I got this for I think they're $4.99 for the 10 grams. But as I said before, you can buy 4 get 1 free. This really applies to everything, but sign up for newsletters from some of these brands. So like their website, sign up for newsletters, because you will get emails saying, oh, 20% off, or currently doing VAT free, or currently doing I don't know, some type of deal on these products. So they are very good, because when I first started, I was lucky, literally, when I decided to start my collection of colored powders, I was lucky because that time, that literally that day that I wanted to order, I was ready to order, this website called Salon Direct was doing a deal on, I don't think they sell them now because I couldn't find them on their website now, but Glam and Glitz, they were selling their Glam and Glitz, they had 20% off all their Glam and Glitz colored powders. So I was literally like so lucky because I saved a lot of money at that time, and I also got money off because I spent over I probably spent like over £100. I got money off for that as well, so that's great. This applies to anything, clothes, shoes, whatever you're ordering. I always search in Google before I finish checking out and paying for my items. I always search in Google, oh, website, promo code, blah 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 blah, and half the time I find a promo code that I can enter into the search bar, into the coupon code thing before I check out. Also, some nail techs, a lot of them are brand ambassadors for these big brands, and they have promo codes in their bios that you can use, but a lot of the time they're very small amount that you get off, but every little helps. So like sometimes like 5% off or 10% off, but as I said, every little helps, and if you're doing that every time, you're going to save money. So another way to build a colored powder collection is to purchase dipping powders. I think dipping powders are cheaper than colored acrylics sometimes, and you can find a lot of dipping powders on AliExpress. So this one's a bit iffy. Okay, so you can find a lot of dipping powders on AliExpress. A lot of them have loads of reviews, so I feel like they would be okay to use. As I said though, I don't know if I would 100% trust it because it's not like recommended brands, but as I said, a lot of people would use them. And the reason why I'm saying dipping powders, you're probably thinking, why is she talking about dipping powders where she's been talking about colored acrylics? Because dipping powders and colored acrylics, the main ingredients, so the first ingredients on the list, is the same thing for dipping powders and colored acrylics. And a lot of people know and do use it. They contain the same, you know, makeup of products. So that's why I'm saying you could buy dipping powders, because sometimes you can find them for cheaper than colored powder acrylics. So Hollywood Nail Supply also have released their own line of dipping powders / colored acrylic powders. So if you did ever want to do dipping powders, you have these powders that you could use as both. But as I said, literally you could probably use any colored acrylic powder, even if it doesn't say dipping powder on the tin. So yeah, so they have their dipping powders. They sell them for 56 grams for £10. So that's really good because that's a high amount compared to, like, this is Glam and Glit. So this is 28 grams, and I literally can't remember, but you could probably get this for about, I think it's like £8, like £8 something, including VAT. So £8 something including VAT, and that's literally 28 compared to 56. So that's literally almost double, well, kind of double, yeah, ish, the amount for £10. So literally what, like maybe like not even £2 more, you're getting double the amount. So obviously but I haven't tried them out, so but I'm pretty sure that they would be fine. They'll probably work the same as any other brand, but obviously people do say there is difference in between brands, and I will say that is true. I think on the website it says that it's just a dipping powder. Well, it just talks about it being a dipping powder, but if you go onto the Instagram, they literally marketed it as an acrylic powder / dipping powder. And as I said before, it's the same thing. As I said, I haven't used any of the Hollywood Nail Supplies acrylic powders. Now to move on to the topic of monomers, so the acrylic liquid. So you are going to be looking for acrylic liquid that doesn't have MMA in it. Do not use MMA acrylic liquid. It is a pain to remove. It's not good for people's health. Some of the brands that I have used are CJP, Glitter Bells, and Mia Secrets. CJP and Glitter Bells, I think, are around the same price, but obviously when you get those, you're gonna have to pay for a delivery fee on top of that. So I don't know what CJP's price is, but I know that Glitter Bells is like around £35 plus delivery for 500 ml. So I do like the Glitter Bells one. I did like the CJP one. I thought they were very similar in terms of like how they work. The Mia Secrets one, I feel like also works just as well as them. However, it is a bit cheaper. So, as I said, £35 plus delivery for 500 ml for the Glitter Bells one, compared to Mia Secrets. It's around £33.98 for 500 ml. So it's already a bit cheaper. Plus, you don't have to pay for delivery every single time you want it. Well, I think there is a delivery fee on eBay, but it depends on the seller basically. But that is still included in that price that I just said. Like, they're all around £33.98 for the 500 ml. So as I mentioned before, so acrylic liquid that contains MMA is cheaper. So I think during this time of you learning or like starting, I think it is okay, especially if you're using it just on like those trainer hands or whatever. But I feel like if you're practicing, why not just use a cheaper liquid, because you don't want to waste your good expensive one. If you want to start taking clients, or if you have clients, why would you use your expensive one that you want to use all your clients on a fake plastic hand? So for that reason, I will recommend acrylic liquid that contains MMA from Hollywood Nail Supply. I have used this one, but yeah, on the bottle it says EMA. It literally says, and there's no like list of ingredients on the back. I don't know if it's just because I bought the huge bottle. I literally bought I think it was 1 gallon. It was like literally this big. It was heavy and it was this big, and it was like fat. Yeah, so like 1 gallon, whatever. I bought that and I was like, oh my god, why is it so cheap? I can't remember how much that one was, but yeah, it was like, it's so cheap, yay, you found a new liquid, and it didn't smell as much as the other ones. And I was like, oh, like this is literally what I've been looking for. Why did I not know about this? Turns out it contains MMA. It's very deceiving. By the way, if I didn't mention, EMA is the good chemical that is in the liquid, that you'll find in all the other liquids that I mentioned before that don't contain MMA. You'll find it in there, but you won't find MMA in those ones compared to this one. So yeah, it said it had MMA, so it basically gave me the impression that it doesn't have MMA in it. It only has EMA. But what I used it on I was so smart to test it on myself first. So I used it, tried to remove the nail straight away, and it was all gooey. It was taking ages to remove. It was just, I was like, nah, this defo contains MMA. This, you'll be getting 500 ml for £14, and they have different volumes, so go check them out on the website. But yeah, that's obviously not including shipping. But yeah, £14 for 500 ml. You're paying double that for the same amount for the non-MMA acrylic liquid. So as you can see, MMA is cheaper, but it's not good. So as for things like your nail tip cutters, little duster brush, if you want a scrubby brush, your buffers, things like that, and like nail clippers and things like that, I'll list in the description. I'll list the tools, like the other tools you need. But yeah, when it comes to stuff like this, it really doesn't matter where you get it from, whether you get them from Wish, whether you get them from eBay, whether you get them from Amazon, whether you get them from like a £1 shop. You can't really go wrong with these. So primers is not really, it doesn't really matter too much where you get that from either. I would say as long as it's sticky. Sometimes you can get, so for example, someone told me, like another nail tech told me that she got a primer from Hollywood Nail Supply and it wasn't sticky. Your primer needs to be sticky because that's what the acrylic adheres to, and it helps the acrylic to stop lifting and helps the acrylic adhere to the natural nail plate. Some good brands, I only ever used, oh, I did use the CJP one, but the CJP one that I have is contains acid. I don't think it's particularly good to use ones that contain acid, especially like if you do end up cutting the cuticles. If you and then you go and use an acid primer, sometimes it can sting. If your client already has cuts around that area and you go to use the acid primer, it can sting. The primer that I used is the acid free primer from Glitter Bells. That's the one I use the most. However, I've seen a lot of people on YouTube use the Mia Secret one. You can get them from eBay. I think it's even on Amazon. It's on eBay for around £8.56. From Glitter Bells is probably like, I think, around £10. But obviously you have to pay delivery on top of that. So yeah, obviously it's cheaper to get Mia Secrets. For dehydrator or prep spray, I'd recommend just making your own. Just make your own. You can literally you could just literally go onto YouTube and type in DIY dehydrator or DIY nail prep spray, and there's loads of tutorials on how to do that. It's literally, majority of the time it's literally just a bit of acetone and a bit of rubbing alcohol, but it's not necessary. It's actually not necessary if you're doing your prep well, like the rest of the prep well. Having a dehydrator isn't always necessary. However, if you have that one client that has, like, you can see they have an oily nail plate or they have oily skin, then you would definitely probably need that dehydrator to prevent lifting from that for that particular client. But I don't even use it on every client anymore because it's not really needed. If you've used your primer, I use my primer twice. So I do all 5 fingers, move on to the next hand, all 5 fingers, then move back to the first hand and do it all again. So yeah, as long as you use your primer twice, using the dehydrator is not that deep because you've already removed the shine from the natural nail by buffing it and whatnot. And one thing that I do want to say about tools that you do get, obviously the only places that I had ordered my tools from was AliExpress and some of them from eBay, but obviously AliExpress does take a long time sometimes, especially during this time. I don't know how long it's going to take, but you still can get stuff from AliExpress now. But yeah, it's obviously going to take a long time to get here, so if you're impatient, try eBay, but make sure that it's a UK seller and that they're still selling and that they're still shipping their items, and that, yeah, just make sure it's a UK seller, so you don't have to wait for a long time. But you can literally see the dates, that the estimated delivery time, so double check that. Amazon is also good. The only reason why I keep saying eBay over Amazon is because usually items on eBay are a bit cheaper than Amazon. So if you have Prime, I don't see why not Amazon. So for your files, literally with files, I would say, yeah, I've had bad files because they were a bit bendier than other files, but you can always file. I don't know how to say it. Like, you can't not file regardless, even if the file's a bit bendy, but it definitely helps for your nails to end up being straighter if the file is more sturdy. So Hollywood Nail Supply, you can get files from them. Don't need to really be picky about files. You can literally go on eBay, but yeah, Hollywood Nail Supply, I like their files. I think they're sturdy, the ones that I'll link below. Okay, so drill. So a lot of nail techs, especially like the old school nail techs, they use very expensive nail files. So when I was first starting, I was literally like, don't know about you, but I'm not about to spend £200 just on a nail, like a nail drill. Yeah, a good one that a lot of people have done reviews on YouTube is Melody Susie. I think it's like £66 or something, yeah, from Amazon. It's a really good drill. You could literally I like the fact that it has like the RPM on it, so the rotations per minute, yeah, RPM on it. So I like the fact that you can see that, because some nail drills don't have that, they just have like a dial. And I like to see the numbers because I like to stick to numbers for certain procedures. So for example, when I'm like just buffing the nail with the like removing the shine from the nail, from the natural nail, I like to always be between a certain number. Whereas if it's a dial, like you always just estimating like around how far you go. So yeah, I like that. You can also buy the separate, like the handpiece separate to the actual drill bit, like the drill holder bit. I don't know what you call it, but yeah. So say if your handpiece stopped working, you can get a new one. They also sell like a portable one for like maybe like £4 more. Yeah, I really like it. Because another thing I like a lot is the fact that it's just so cute and tiny. Like it's actually cute and small. It's like literally, I don't have it here, but it's literally like this big, like the actual bit that holds the handpiece, and then the handpiece sits there, and it has holes for your drill bits around it, so it's a great drill. Lamps. This one you can get just any lamp. However, a brand that I would recommend is Sun UV. Okay, you can't just get any lamp because some of them might not cure your products. Depends on what type of top coat you use, but yeah, Sun UV is a good brand that a lot of people use. And I have a Sun UV lamp. I literally got mine from a random seller on eBay. I'm pretty sure, yeah, it was around £14, which is like super cheap. So I'm like, I was literally thinking, oh no, like I might have got like a crappy fake one, which may be true, but it works. Like I haven't had it not cure anything that I've used so far. So yeah. And I even used it to cure polygel once, which is obviously a bit thicker than just like gel polish. So however, that seller is not available anymore, so I'll link, oh actually I don't think I'll link it below, but I'll put the name, and you can literally just find any seller on Amazon or AliExpress or eBay. You can literally find Sun UV anywhere. Drill bits. Drill bits, you probably only need 4 drill bits. Like I probably only actually really and truly need 4, but I have more than that, but you only need 4. So the 4 that you would need is I would say a fine safety bit. Doesn't have to be safety, you can just use a round barrel, but especially as a starter, safety bit. Definitely use a safety bit. This is not one that I'm recommending, but I do have one like this. So this is a ceramic one, but yeah, safety bit has a smooth top. So when I'm going around the nail plate, this one will not nick the skin because this bit is smooth at the top. So yeah, that's why I recommend the safety bits. Yeah, so fine, and maybe a coarse or an extra coarse one. So yeah, fine for when you're like refining the nail after you've like laid your acrylic and you're finishing up. Coarse for when you're, or extra coarse. Probably, yeah, I have a coarse one, but I'm gonna get an extra coarse one for when I'm like taking down bulk, like before, say for example, like when I'm removing trying to remove the acrylics. I don't have it here, but the only other 2 that you would need is your cuticle bit. I like the cuticle bit for just removing some dead skin around the cuticle. This Mandrel bit, yeah, this obviously you put the, sorry, this is a really crusty and dirty sanding band, but so you put the sanding band on it, and yeah, you use this to remove the natural, the shine from the natural nail. Yeah, use like 180 or yeah, band, 180 grit band to do that. So top coat, I've always used what did I always use? I think when I first started, I can't remember what I used when I first started, but I've been using for the longest time Glitter Bells. I like their one. Think it lasts well without chipping. Like, it doesn't chip, I don't think. Like, when I've used it, it doesn't chip. It's good, it's really shiny, but I think it's about £10 if you're looking for a slightly cheaper one. D&D, you can just get their one. I'll link that one below because I like the one in the gold bottle but not the one in the white bottle, but apparently they're the same thing, but I don't believe that's true because the one in the white bottle, I don't know, it's weird, like it's not normal. A lot of nail salons use that brand, so I think it's a good brand. It's a good thing about Hollywood Nail Supply is that they have an actual store, so you don't always have to be paying delivery fee for online. You can actually physically go there and see the items. However, they are based in Peckham in London, so if you don't live near there, then it can be long. So yeah, I think the only cleaning products you need mainly is antibacterial soap, which you can get from anywhere. Oh wait, not in this climate. You might struggle, but yeah, antibacterial soap and barbicide. And I say antibacterial soap because before you put your tools in your metal tools in the barbicide, you should scrub your tools, like scrub the dust off, wash them, scrub them, and then put them in the barbicide. But yeah, barbicide is the main like thing that you would need. You can get that from literally anywhere online, but you can get it from the Black/Asian hair shop. Mondo is a good brand. They do like something similar to barbicide. It's not too expensive, but yeah, you might as well get barbicide. Literally they do the same thing, but and I feel like barbicide is more accessible, so yeah, the fact that they have them in shops, whereas Mondo you could probably only get from like a nail supply store. I also do have like a spray that Mondo sell, like a file and tool spray that you can use in between clients, and it kills like virus and bacteria and whatnot, so it's kind of like a spray version of barbicide, but yeah, it's really handy for in between clients because obviously, well, you can put your tools in barbicide but in between every client, but that is very long, especially because you want to scrub the tools first, and you might not have enough time. So as soon as I'm done using the tool, you can spray it. I usually spray mine with the Mondo thing, the Mondo spray, so I'll literally link that below. So your brush is important in my opinion. I've seen a lot of YouTubers talk about when you're just starting out, you don't need to invest in a brush, like a good brush at a later date, blah 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 blah, or they say something along those lines. Like sometimes acrylic brushes can be very expensive, and I thought when I first started, I thought I could buy a cheap one on AliExpress. It did claim to be a Kolinsky brush. Yeah, so you want a Kolinsky brush, like the yeah, Kolinsky just means that the hairs are real and they are a Kolinsky hair, made from Kolinsky hair fibers. It matters because it helps with your application, like like a smooth application in my opinion. If your brush is real and good quality, your acrylic doesn't get stuck in there. A place where you can get a good quality cheap one is Hollywood Nail Supply. So, and this is the brush that I currently use. Hope I wasn't too all over the place with this video, but it's my first video, so yeah. I'll link everything down below, like the actual list of stuff, because I mostly just touched on like the main products. I kind of skipped over some of the tools like the cuticle pusher, blah 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 blah, but that is linked down below, like where I got mine from. But as I said, you don't, with certain tools like cuticle pusher and nail tip cutter, doesn't matter where you get it from. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe, because I do have more coming. I literally have a list of videos that I'm going to do during this time, now that I have some more free time. I'm going to talk about, like, this is kind of going to be like a series, this how to become a nail tech thing. So like how to become a nail tech in the UK specifically, because there's loads of videos but they're not specifically talking about what you need to do in the UK, and it was kind of annoying me because when I was starting I was like, why can't I find answers, like why is it so hard? But yeah, because I had questions about like becoming qualified, and what products to get, and should I work in a salon or should I be home based, and what is it actually like, or what is the day-to-day like. So I had a lot of questions, and sometimes you can find the answers, but a lot of the time the answers are from people in America and it doesn't apply to me because I'm from London. So yeah, I thought this would be helpful for us girls in London that are just starting out or want to start out. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching. If you watched this far, I appreciate it. Thank you. Bye.